Yes, well, it has been a big show, and we keep multiplying on the decks. Greg Anderson's joined us for Bevo's Corner for a bit of controversy. Bevo in. We thought we'd bring up the numbers, mate. 3v1. Yeah. We're confident it'll be a bit like Richmond over GWS. But, what have you got for us, Big Fella?
Speaking of the Tigers, what a show today, Smithy. We've had, obviously, Josh Scott, who was involved in beating the Magpies a couple of weeks ago. The umpire's also involved in beating the Magpies. How do you feel about that, Baz?
I'm happy as Larry, mate. Happy as Larry, yeah, don't worry.
I thought you were a bit light on myself with the umpires. I thought you
thought I might have a crack.
Very surprised. I thought you were going because of the, that 666 where. It's up to the umpires to make that call, and I know the AFL actually give a warning, but they didn't both times, and we just kicked a goal, and all of a sudden we're they've given the ball straight back to Glenelg.
Yeah.
I think, that was a bit harsh in my book.
Get them back. Where are they? Where are they? Bring them back in here. I want to have a crack at them now.
That Joshua, he was outstanding. He is such a good player.
He's a good player.
He had a great grand final. He was certainly my top 3 or 4 best players on the ground. Yeah. And he gets under your skin. He gets under Port's skin. He was getting under my skin in the grandstand.
He might be a chance. He could be
he's
a mid-season
really
draft.
good
If
player.
surgery goes well, he could be a chance.
He's a really good player.
No, he's a good player.
I'll take him at the power.
Played very well.
The power for sure.
Played very well. Played well. Let's get off then.
All right, let's talk about statues. Now, guys, Smithy, where's my statue? Because apparently everyone gets a statue these days. Taylor Harris has played 13 games of AFLW and gets a statue just because she got picked on social media. I've been picked on with social media before and called lots of things.
And will again.
Shouldn't I get a statue then, guys? Or
I think it's
Well, it's interesting seeing the greats actually, think it's not a great idea, and I do agree with that. I think it should be a female statue of just a female footballer. I don't think it should have a face to it. And I think once you become a bit of a legend, a legend in the sport, and I think that's going to take decades to get to that sort of status, decades. And she's done it in 13 games.
I reckon it's disrespectful, in my view, to the women that have played hundreds of games.
Well said.
So because we've got the AFL and they've got the profile, but there have been hundreds of ladies that have played hundreds of games of footy and they don't have a statue. So I'm all for, encouraging women to play and all that, but I think we've been disrespectful to a group of women who have gone unnoticed playing footy.
Totally
but now we're looking at the
highest level. A group of women who have gone unnoticed, or not gone unnoticed, but a group of women who have actually excelled at major sports for Australia over a long period of time.
I'm just staying with footy. Sorry, I'm just sticking with footy at the moment.
Yeah, well.
So the problem is I feel sorry for her because she's getting pillared on it.
I know.
Yes. But it was a bad judgment. I think,
shocking
and then
judgment.
what they should have said is, we've made a mistake and got rid of it. As opposed to that, they tried to fight the battle.
That's right.
And she's had to wear a fair bit of the battle.
I feel totally sorry
It was a bad publicity
Yeah.
stunt. It was a bad idea. It didn't work out.
No.
And just opened up a whole
massive
area.
can of worms.
Massive can of worms.
Yeah.
And, I think you were making the comment before we came on air, she was in the kicking over the Yarra River. The first question is, what do you think about your statue on it? What do you want her to say? So she played 8 games with Brisbane, 14 games with Carlton. It's a bit like some of the politicians coming out a couple of years ago wanting a grandstand named after Erin Phillips.
No. Bet Goddard.
Well, both of them. Again, I'm not disrespecting either. I'm a massive fan of Erin's. But you can't play 2 games.
Why don't we just change the entertainment centre? Why don't we just change the entertainment centre to the Phil Smyth Centre? He's won 3. Yeah, he's won 3 championships.
I'd be happy to do that.
Well, I've actually played more games than I know.
Exactly right.
Some of the greatest coaches and the greatest players that have played decades for their clubs have got a statue. And rightly so. And rightly so. They have really, what they've done for the game has just been outstanding. But 13 games is not enough. But I still agree that there should be a statue of a lady playing football.
Why?
Because it's part of our sport as
well.
It's part of our sport.
But there's ladies playing.
And I think it's good for the sport that the kids go there. There's a statue of a girl kicking the footy. I just don't think there should be a so-called face to it.
Sam Kerr probably deserves a statue for what she's done with soccer. But it's a topic that anyone can go on battle day, isn't it?
I think there should be a statue of Nick Kyrgios and a good behaviour statue. What about that one?
We should talk about Kyrgios. What do you guys think about the 16-week suspended sentence? And of course, he's been told to speak to a mental health expert as well. Is this going to change him or
no? I think it's time for them to suspend him. And all you guys know, I've been a defender of Nick Kyrgios. I've defended him, but I think there's a time where you say, mate, you have to wear a punishment to feel how bad it is. I think you've got to take
like a good
16 weeks or 12 months, mate. 12 months, close to finishing his career, but if you do it again, it's a suspended sentence. What's that? I mean, they love him. We've talked about it. It's because he draws the crowds, because he's different. We get all of that, but if you're not going to play by the rules, then you've got to have some discipline.
Hang on, mate. Where's he not played by the rules?
Well, you can't.
Where's he not played by the rules?
Well, why is he getting a suspended 16-week sentence? Well, you reckon they made that up?
No, he's getting it because he might shoot his gob off or break a racket. Or
he's made the game look ugly, though.
He's brought the game into... So there's got to be a rule where they say he's brought the game into disrepute.
You can't yell at the umpires. You're just not allowed to do that.
You can't abuse the
umpires. In a game of tennis. See, cricket, I know
yes,
cricket, you're a good, you sledge and all that sort of stuff, and, you get under each other's skin. But tennis is the gentleman's game. Now, you look at, having a go at umpires and people in the crowd.
Been going on for years, Andy. Been going on for years.
He's been going on for too long.
McEnroe, Ilya Nastase, these guys.
But McEnroe
there's a long line
but
of
McEnroe
them.
won Grand Slams. Kyrgios has not won Grand
come on,
Slams.
You can't use that defence. But I think he's breaking the rules.
He was always a line.
He's breaking the rules.
Yeah,
he was very strong in saying that ball was in.
Who's that?
McEnroe. Kyrgios is different. He gets frustrated with himself. He's smashing rackets. He's hating the world. He's hating what he's doing.
An umpire, didn't he?
He's spitting. Yeah. He's yelling. He's just not putting the game in the right respect that it deserves. McEnroe always fought for his cause. He believed that the ball was in. Now, and most of the times, funny enough, it was when you actually watched as a kid, just watching the lines, you think he's right. So he's sticking up for himself. Kyrgios is losing the plot. No, he's embarrassing.
He's in trouble.
Embarrassing.
He's in trouble for his behaviour towards the referees. So
Exactly.
he's breaking the rules. It's not breaking a racket, because if he breaks a racket, they'll take a set off him or they'll get the game. He's in trouble for verbally abusing lines, people and referees. And at some stage you've got to say, mate, it's unacceptable.
And I reckon, guys,
I
think
think
So how long do you let it go for before you finally say, done, mate, 16 weeks?
They won't do it, mate.
I think a
because of the
6
money.
month
Because of the
suspension,
coin.
a 6 month suspension will actually make him miss the game, and it'll turn him around, and he could come back a better player and might actually, play the proper tennis we know he can play.
They might also give the game away.
Oh no, I don't think he'll give the game away.
Well,
no.
But who's responsible for that?
I think
he's responsible for that.
I think let him go.
And he's representing Australia too, by the way. It's like, it's
Leave him alone, mate.
Other countries are watching our sporting stars embarrass themselves and our country, because he's representing our country. We had Pat Rafter, we had sort of Leighton Hewitt. We just had some wonderful people representing us. For Australia.
Pat Cash and now Ash Barty as well.
Ash Barty, and we've got someone that's just not respecting the game.
But two of those,
he's representing.
Pat Cash was pretty fiery. Leighton was pretty fiery at times.
Yeah.
But they never got to the point where they were verbally abusing referees and line people. So they weren't penalised for any of those things. That's my point. Is he keeps breaking the rules and getting away with it.
Yeah.
Baz and I have had this discussion. We all have, where we know he's there because of the money.
Another one who's been causing controversy as well, guys, is Israel Folau. Now he's now come out and said he wants to play rugby for Tonga. What do you guys think of that, Andrew? We'll start with you.
I'm glad you started with Andy.
I'm glad you started with me. Thank you very much. But, let him do it. Let him go and play for Tonga. That's if that's where he wants to go. He's one of those guys. Just be comfortable doing something and stay and give it and really commit to it. And because he's upset a couple of different the worlds of sports here in Australia. So. Let him go.
Let him go. Baz, your thoughts?
No, I don't think he should play at all. I think his ban should be worldwide. I think it should be a worldwide ban. Cool. He's, if he goes to play with Tonga, he only needs to upset one bloke in that Tongan outfit. Yeah, one bloke that is maybe gay or whatever.
Nothing wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. Yeah, well, that's what they say. He's only upset one bloke, and then he upsets the whole Tonga. Then Tonga are knackered. Their teams. Well, they are. If you're going to win anything, you need your team. You need everybody.
Spot on, Phil.
In there. You need everybody in there. If he upsets one guy in that chain, Tonga are no good. Tonga are gone. They're history. One of their presidents or one of their blokes have already come out and said that we'd like him to play, But he has to change his, well, here we go again.
Yeah, that's right.
You can't change your tune now just to get a game with Tonga.
Leopards don't change their spots, as they say.
You know, look, that's his belief, which is terrific. But he's got to be now in a team that everybody believes the same thing. Otherwise, you haven't got a team.
Yep.
Simple.
Yeah.
You know, look, I don't mind him playing, and I don't care about his views, to be honest. But I'm a team person. I just believe that if you've got one bloke in that team who's not happy, then you haven't got a team.
It's going to mess the whole team.
You haven't got a team. You haven't got a team. No matter how good he is or how bad he is. I'd love him to still be playing for Australia.
Oh, he's a gun. He'd be awesome.
In the World Cup, he'd be fantastic. You know, but no doubts. But you know, gee whiz.
Sad. Smithy, your thoughts on that?
Oh, I'd like to give you my thoughts, but the foreman's given me the wind up saying the second's over, so I've got nothing for you boys because we have to go to a break. So stay with us. Still, plenty to come on the show.